I think we'll have this conversation from what we need to do to what is already there for us to do. Like, I feel like it's a full circle on its own, this conversation. And I have two gentlemen in studio, Karibuni Sana Anthony and Jameni. Karibuni Netuna Obonyo. Raphael, welcome to the show.
Quite a pleasure to be here.
Karibu Sana Anthony.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, so I'll let you gentlemen introduce yourself proper with your titles and show off as much as you can. Raphael, is good to you?
My name is Raphael Obonyo. I'm a public policy analyst. I'm also an advisor with the United Nations, but I'm also engaged a lot on matters youth. I'm the convener of the Youth Congress. So briefly, those are my titles.
Okay, so we're just going to ignore board member switch. Board member switch TV.
You said you keep it humble.
No, I said we show off. Anthony, don't be like him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Anthony Gichuki. I'm the founder of an organization called Youth VP. Youth VP is a youth-run organization with the main aims of empowering the youth and improving the standards of living. And I'm so fortunate that our first project, we're working with the IEBC to do voter education and drive up the voter registration. And I hope today you'll hear what I have to say to you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's why I said it feels like a full circle, because when we talk about youth and getting into that space of leadership, governance, then it is not just the people who are running, it's also us as the youth to be part of the process and register and, you know, make sure that the people who represent us are there. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about youth and when it comes to leadership, do you think we're really interested, or we're just, you know, tuko tu sawa as long as tunaona nani wanafanya nini huko juu, then we're good. Let them do their thing.
I think first of all, we need to look at the demographic of our country.
Yes.
80% of the population of Kenya is below age 35. It basically means that the youth block is quite a huge block. And that basically means in terms of numbers, we cannot be bystanders on issues of governance and development of the country. But not just that, youth also face very unique challenges and problems. Issues of unemployment, issues of lack of quality of education, issues of lack of opportunities. And so it means that if we want to see these problems addressed, we need to be in the arena. We need to be shaping the leadership that we have. But that's not all. The third aspect is that youth are not just a problem or people with a problem. Youth also have very unique solutions to the challenges we are facing as a demographic, but also as a country. And so we shouldn't just see youth as people who have a problem and are a problem. We should also see them in terms of solutions. And that's why I think as a country, we really need to think of how do we ensure that youth are plugged in? How do we ensure that youth are enabled to participate effectively in governance and development? And so I look around and I see young people making endeavors to get engaged, which is quite encouraging. Yes. But there's also the other end of the spectrum where there are many young people who are no longer interested, especially on issues of politics. And I'm sure in the show we are going to discuss what are some of these, what are the factors or the reasons why youth are not effectively engaged or participating in governance and issues of development.
Absolutely. And when you talked about the youth creating solutions, that is exactly what Youth VP.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a VP, youth,
Youth VP.
Yeah.
We just needed a catchy name so that...
and it works.
It
works.
Yeah.
So how did this come about as a young person representing this and doing this for us, creating the solutions that Raphael was talking about? How did it come about?
As he said, I feel that most of the problems that we face in Kenya, the youth can easily come up with the solutions.
Yes.
It's just that there's a lack of finances, there's a lack of the platform really for the youth to really come and engage and provide the solutions for an audience to listen to. So you find that most people who are very creative, once they don't have the platform to air out the solutions, they're really left in a space where they really can't express themselves. And as the youth myself, we wanna, as an organization, want to give a platform to most of these youth members to come and really express themselves out, because that is something that we found is a major problem facing the youth in this country. So how can we maneuver from getting the solution to the problem to finally actualizing on the solution itself? So it's just really the platform for the youth to come and engage themselves. And I really believe that our future is quite bright, because the kind of innovative ideas that the youth possess in their minds is ridiculous. I feel like it's the things that can really maneuver us as a country the way forward. And as he said as well, our population, about 80% is below the age of 35 years old. that needs to show you that our economy is within the youth. So we need to empower each other and work together, and we can really go far as a country.
Great.
Yeah.
And with this beautiful innovation, how has the reception been?
So the innovation, first of all, is that we're doing voter education using virtual reality. So once you wear, for the viewers who are not familiar with
It's a
virtual
cool
reality,
thing. It's really cool,
Quite
right?
cool, man.
Very
and,
cool.
and this is what we've been saying, for
Yes.
example, that IBC, and this is a discussion we've had with IBC, and now they formed what they call the Youth Coordination Committee, which is really a great idea. But what we've been saying is that the population we are dealing with, the demographic we are dealing with, you can't use the old approaches and strategies to target or to reach out to this youth. That thing of setting up polling centers in school, running, billboards and all that, good idea.
Yes.
But the generation we are dealing with requires things like this that
Yeah.
Youth VP has come up with, which is really fantastic.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we find that actually it's a problem across the world where the youth aren't really interested in politics, mainly because of political patronage, youth not being included in the topics. So you find that most of the times during election period, the term youth is swung around by the politicians, youth. But now guys are waking up and realizing you only come to us when you need the votes. So why am I empowering you to enter to the seat and you'll never help us? So with these ideas, it's just that we're using virtual reality. We want to immerse the eligible voters into a virtual polling station where they'll be able to taught how to correctly mark a ballot, and also we'll educate them on how to vote using virtual reality. So that even if 4 million people go to cast a ballot, let it be that 4 million votes are actually counted, not about half of them were nullified because they saw the aspirant and took that tick really enthusiastically. So for the few who are going to participate in the election period, let's at least let them let's mark the ballot well, and also let's be educated when it comes to the election period, as well as also let's try and encourage other youth members to register for the voters card, because as well the IBC had a drive from between 4th of October to 4th of November. They had a target of about 6.5 million new voters, but they only registered 900,000 voters. So even the YCC was actually constructed to see how can we get other youth members to register.
It was a
for
need.
voting. Yeah, and as I said, you can tell a youth to go to register at the polling station, and Calligraph Jones has a concert, and they'd rather go to Calligraph Jones' concert. So you see, the solution to that is, why can't we have registration drives where the youth are congregating?
Oh.
Actually, Sauti Sol had a big concert at Carnival.
Yes.
I mean, Soul Generation, and I think they had about 10,000 people at the same venue. And the demographic was 18 to 25. Remember, that is the demographic that is not coming forward to register.
Yes.
So I would have imagined that IBC would partner with Soul Generation and say, look, we'll have one of the tents, to register. Things like that.
Yes.
And what Tony is saying, we need to be innovative, we need to be creative on
I
how we
was
reach
seeing
out.
you smile when you was busy explaining.
Yeah, because it's quite amazing.
It is.
This is how to reach out to this generation that we are talking about. Remember, IBC had that target of, like Tony did say, first of all, they started with 9 million. They realized we can't get to 9 million. They put it down to 6.5. They realized that target was too high. They came down to 4.5. But even with 4.5, less than a million new voters came up to register. Part of it is awareness, which I'm happy initiatives like Youth VP are trying to address, and a number of youth-serving organizations are out there. But it is said that 8 out of 10 people who've not registered are youth. 80% of non-registered eligible voters are actually youth. But worse is that over 50% of that block is between 18 to 25. Remember, this is the generation that doesn't care much. They have nothing much to lose. They are looking for jobs. They're looking for opportunities. So they're busy with other things. And even if you look at the recent study by TIFA, they were saying that there are a good number, significantly large number of youth who are not registering to vote, are saying they're busy. You can imagine they're busy with other things. So what we need to do, and just getting back to the conversation, is we need to find convenient ways, innovative ways, creative ways of mobilizing these youth to register. One, by creating awareness. Two, by helping them to see the connection between politics or elections and their well-being. because someone is busy looking for a job, but they don't realize that you can spend the rest of your life looking for a job if you do not have the right leadership. So let's fix this leadership. Those kind of things are things we really need to take into reality and perspective if we are to get youth to participate, because we have no option. If we don't let them, if we don't get them to register to vote, they are going to look for, youth are going to look for other alternatives other than the ballot. And we've seen across the world, if youth are not going through the ballot, then it will be protest, it will be revolt, it will be chaos. And so we really need to convince them to get back, register, vote, and fix leadership of this country.
Okay. And so when this is put out, have you been able to maybe work with politicians or, you know, rallies or places where many people, especially the youth, are congregated to get people to vote?
We've actually worked with a few politicians because as an organization, if I go back to my previous statement, a lack of finances is a big issue to the youth. So even for our organization, Youth VP, for us to do events and have registration drives, it's a bit challenging to attain your goals because there's various things you need to consider, like mobilization, setting up of the tents and everything. But what we've seen is that we can be used as a proxy between the IBC and the politicians, because we're actually accredited voter educators by the IBC. So that makes us directly stakeholders in this election. So what we do is that if there's a politician or any aspiring politician from the MCA all the way to the presidency, if you're having a political rally where you've mobilized people in a controlled environment, we come in with the IBC and register people for voting. And at the same time, because we feel that for politicians, what's the point of communicating your message to 10,000 people and only 1,000 of them have the voter's card?
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't.
And they have all the tools for mobilization to actually rally up people to come to listen to your message. So why not have a proxy organization like Youth VP, who are stakeholders in the election, come with IBC and register people for voting? So actually on the 4th of November, we had an event at Anzana Gardens where Jimmy Wanjigi was communicating with students at Kenyatta University, and we were able to bring the IBC on board. And on that day, we actually broke the registration record, registering 1,150 people in a single day.
That's a high.
Yeah, that's a high. That's a high.
I mean, so part of this 900,000, you also had a huge role to play.
Yeah, it was the deadline day. 4th of November was the deadline for the enhanced continuous voter registration drive. So I know Kenyans, they love the last minute mentality. But yeah, we went with the IBC officials there. We registered 1,000 people. The following week, Jimonjigi was also having another event at Machakos People's Park with Machakos University students and Scots University students. On that day, that was even after the ECVR for the IBC, the voter registration drive. We were able to register about 300 people. So we saw that we can take advantage of the political rallies because they rally up people. They have, if it's in a controlled environment, we can come with IBC and register people for voting. And another fact that is quite alarming is that the youngest voter to vote in next year's election are persons born before February of 2004. I know I'm not so old, but I can remember 2004 like the other day. You know, so how can we get to this? How can we tap into the psyche of the millennials who were born in that time? And that's why technology like virtual reality can come in. You know, we live in a social media age, and politics isn't that exciting, but you can't run away from bad governance. And that's a message we also want to communicate to the youth, that our salaries, our taxes are building our economy. You might not think about it right now, but 5 years' time, 4 years' time after you finish university.
I wasn't thinking like this a couple of years ago.
You know?
I'm just here wondering, oh my God, when did we get here? So it is important for that conversation to be started. We are 2004. You know, getting to them. And Raphael, you'd mentioned that we will get to why sometimes the youth are not really interested in getting into the spaces of, you know, politics, governance, and leadership. And you said you had a few points around that.
I mean, first of all, just back to Tony. They say bad leaders are voted in by voters who don't vote. And so we cannot be indifferent. We cannot be bystanders. We are stakeholders, like you did say. So we really need to participate and play our role. But why is it that youth are not engaged in politics? First, I think, is that youth do not appreciate the connection between leadership or governance and their well-being. They imagine that looking for a job is different, separate from the leadership that we have. And so they are busy pursuing what is their target, what is their agenda, which is looking for an opportunity. So that is one. Two, the generation we are dealing with is generation wajanja. Like, they know these things. You can't lie to them, you know. It's not the generation that will promise them that next year or 5 years or 10 years. So they've seen these politicians come every 5 years and make promises. They've heard, and so they're saying, you keep making noise there as we're busy doing our stuff. That is your thing. So for as long as we do not have leaders who keep to your promise, keep their promises and deliver, youth will continue doing their things, because they don't want people wasting their time. You know, it's not like our parents who are a bit patient. Adult generation was a bit patient, tolerant, accommodating. This is a generation that, man, if you can't live to your promises, you go hang, bana. Let's us we'll do our things. Yes, but the other thing is also that we didn't create enough awareness. It is not it's automatic that youth will wake up and go and register. No. You need to let us know what is the rationale, what is the logic behind it, what's the importance of this. And this is not just to Kenya. Even established democracies like the United States, youth voter registration in terms of the youth demographic, it's quite low. It was until people like Bernie Sanders came up and they were saying, we are going to abolish tuition fees, we are going to to scrap and deal with student loans. That's when more young people came up. People like Obama, when they came and say, no, there's hope, there's change, we are going to create. So it's not automatic that when someone gets to 18, they know I'm supposed to register. So we need massive awareness. And if you look at what happened during the mass voter registration, there was very little awareness to target the youth. So we really need to invest in that. Don't just run one advert and imagine that youth will see it and
did they even see it?
Yeah.
Is it on my IG?
It's not on your IG. So you see, if they're not connecting with people like yourself, who has a huge following of young people, it will be very difficult to get these youth to register, because youth need something that they can connect with.
Yes, it feels like you're speaking to me, like you're seeing me. We're going to take a very short commercial break. If you have any questions whatsoever, 111 444 111, that is our SMS line. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Full Circle with Mukali. A very good morning to you. We're talking matters youth, leadership, governance, and what their role is, our role is, when it comes to elective politics. And Youth VP has come up with an amazing, relatable concept that we need to use for us to be able to, get registered, create awareness of what our role is, because it's been made very clear by these two gentlemen that you looking for that job, you looking for that perfect healthcare, is directly related to who is in leadership. So when we start seeing things in that way, then we might just want to get a little bit more interested and invested in the whole process and what goes on in there. So just before we get into the demonstration, Anthony, let's talk about the young people and, the aspirants that are there. Are we seeing young people get into 2022 is here? Do we have young people in there?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite encouraging. Across the country, leaders are becoming younger and younger. We've seen many more young aspirants coming up, youth coming up to vie for these elective seats. The Youth Congress is running an initiative called Elect Youth, basically drumming up and providing support to young candidates. And we just sent out a call for registration, and we have over 500 young people by now who've already come up and are going to vie for certain seats. Of course, that's a low number, but we are hoping that by the time we get to elections in August, we'll have many more young people coming up. Last elections, we had about 3,400 youth who came up to vie. We only had about 314, which is about less than 10% of them getting elected. But it is encouraging to see young people come up, because we are looking for something fresh.
Yes.
Youth are looking for something fresh. And for a long time, I think the adult generation, like we call them wazes, have always based leadership on experience.
Yes.
And they've always said, if you do not have experience, you can't run for
They
leadership.
will ridicule you.
Yes.
Oh, they have
Yes,
ridiculed young
which
people.
is quite
who,
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Putting young people in a waiting room, telling them they're leaders of tomorrow. But youth are saying, no, we are not leaders of tomorrow. The challenges we are facing today, it is us who are going to fix them. We have the solution. So we are not going to wait for next day or next time or someone else. We are going to throw ourselves in the arena. And so we've seen youth come up. About 80% of them, of the youth who are running for office are actually running for members of county assembly, MCAs. But when we engaged them, they were saying the reason they're doing that, it's not that they do not have aspirations to run for higher seat, it's because of challenges of things like finances, challenges of vehicles to run with. Our political parties are full of patronage. They still see youth as people who lack, people who are inadequate. Many youth cannot run as independent because it's so expensive to put up a campaign. But also the positive thing is that they want to address challenges within their reach, and that's why they're running for things like, positions like MCA, which is quite encouraging. And I think if we enable and support and facilitate these young aspirants, I think it will also be sort of a pull for young voters. Because young voters are looking for something fresh. They know the other generation has been lying to them for far too long. So they want someone they can also resonate with. And so that's why, for me, it's encouraging. And I think we are supporting and we are backing young people who are running for office because our challenges are not beyond our potential to solve them as young people.
Absolutely, absolutely. Talking about solutions, I think it's about time we see how this works.
Okay. Just do a quick setup.
Okay. So there's a phone in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just a cardboard box VR. One of the most basic concepts of VR. We have another one in our office, which is a bit complex to bring it on air. But this is what we're going to showcase to people when you go to the public.
Let me. Yeah. So, okay.
To set it up for you.
Ooh, looks cool.
Yeah.
Raphael.
You're being recruited to be part of Youth VP, I'm telling you.
Me, I'm wondering if you know what this is. Have you tried it?
No, I'm saying it for the first time,
Ah,
but
great.
I love
so
it
we are
already.
all having fast here today.
Don't worry, you're not alone.
Okay. Are you good? Okay.
So you have to view it in that
Okay.
location.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So I see that.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a signature right there.
Yeah.
Can we have the same video run? Is it the same video that we have on YouTube?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So we can have it on air right now so
yeah.
that people can see what I'm seeing. Oh, so I see the whole room with the ballot boxes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it just takes me around. Okay, I'm in the ballot box.
Yeah.
Not ballot box, that place.
Yeah.
For, what is it called?
Where to mark the cast a ballot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I did the thing. And then, okay, there, I have my thing.
Yeah.
I've chosen all the people that I want, and then I'm throwing it in.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm seeing. Can you guys see it? Is it there? Raphael, what are you seeing?
I mean, they brought part of it on the screen, which is amazing.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So I see. So it's like a school setup as well.
Yeah.
Because that's where it happens.
Yeah.
But okay, this is so cool. Like I can be here. I can be here for quite.
Yeah, I see the way Mwikali is so excited. If she had not registered to vote, I'm sure she would
Maybe you
vote
could take us
immediately.
through that because.
So what the virtual reality experience gives you is that it gives you a simulation as to how the polling station is going to be during the election time. So this video working with a company in Tunisia, actually, to see how we can develop virtual reality simulation of a Kenyan polling station. So once you wear the headset, it takes you in the steps on how it's going to be on the voting day, whether you need your identification, your ID, once you receive the ballot paper, tick for this box, maybe you have to tick it just inside the box. You know, some people, they see the favorite politician, they come and scribble it on
Oh,
top,
like
or they
Gina.
or they
Yes,
do
yes.
his face or something. So with the virtual reality, it basically just educates you on voter education, just
Yeah.
how the day for the election is going to be on in the polling station, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. And the beauty about audiovisual is that we can have a conversation right now, and 5 years down the line, you might forget the conversation. But with virtual reality, you seemingly will never forget about
That
it.
is so true.
So this is as an organization as well as Youth VP, it's an industry we want to venture in, because by the year of 2025, it's estimated that the virtual reality space is going to be a $900 million industry. Yeah, so we want, in fact, we see virtual reality as the future of administering education and information in Africa, because the way education is administered in Nairobi and in other towns across the country is different. But you see, with virtual reality, you can seemingly have the same training process for the teachers, also for training process for the air hostess, cabin crew.
I love this.
Yeah, you can give a simulation for expectant women before they give birth, how it's going to be during the delivery date, for patients with diabetes, what to inject themselves.
Yeah.
So there's so much around the virtual reality space that needs to be expounded on. It's just that it came to Kenya as a gaming feature, so
Yes.
people.
I have one of these ones.
for the games.
For the games.
You know.
So to see it turned and used in this way,
Yeah.
and the solutions, I'm just worried that we'll become very antisocial, but it's fine. We'll deal with that when we get there. When we get there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the gender. And, you know, are we coming out as women and men? Is there one gender that is more, even as they come out as youths to vie for seats as aspirants for next year, are we seeing more women, more men? How has it been? Has it improved?
I mean, over the figures have always been low. If
Yes.
you look at even the last elections, I think less than 20% of aspirants were actually women compared to their male counterparts,
Yes.
who are over 80. The Elect Youth initiative that the Youth Congress is running, young aspirants who came forward to register and to express their interest and their candidacy, only 16% are young women. It's also because we've been a patriarchal society for many, many years. We are now trying to break that using, changing societal norms through with the 2010 Constitution, opening up more spaces for women, but we are still very far away, and I think we need to make more effort to enable women. Make politics not about male domination, make it not about the watches, the amount of resources that you have. Make it not about violence that you can unleash, but make it about vision, make it about values, make it about manifestos, and see women as equal members of the society, because we still don't see women as equal members of society. And so many women really struggle, both the older generation, but even for the young generation. So there is still concern that very few young women are coming forward, but are also being facilitated and enabled. Political parties are not opening up that space. IBC still need to do a lot of work to make sure that there's a level playing field, that women, and especially young women, can participate. And even voters themselves need to have faith in women, and especially young women. Because that is also a big challenge. But there's progress, but not at the desired level. So there's still a lot of work that needs to be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're seeing them come through.
We're still seeing them come through. It's lots of challenge, many barriers, trying to break the ceilings. But there's encouragement, because out of the 47 governors, at least we had 3 women. We've seen women break glass ceilings in other positions, in other spaces and sectors, and I think that is encouraging young women to see themselves as leaders, and that they can live their lives without without being locked, without being seen as people who are inadequate. So
You are really trying with your words.
I'm
happy.
No, I'm being more optimistic.
But it's true. But it's very, very true that sometimes it's who do we see?
Yes.
Are they there? Can I walk the same path? Who charted it
Yes, yes.
before I did? So the more they get in there, the more room or path they open up for other women as well.
Exactly.
For the ladies, young, tuna vote, come on, tuna kuja ku register. Are we?
In fact, one thing that we've been trying to remove from the society, the kind of thing we're trying to eradicate from the society is that when even people say the term youth, they mostly refer to young men.
That is true.
You know, so we've seen there's a surgence of women who are empowering each other to actually make it, and the kind of tools they use for this is such as social media. Our age group, our Generation Z and our Generation Y, you know, guys who are born from around 1995, 96, 97, 98. We're seeing a lot of women empowering each other through the social media platforms, and I feel like that's a step forward in terms of including women in matters regarding politics, and that notion of referring young men to the youth, we need to eradicate it from our society.
Yes, we do.
And well, I'm very positive that from our generation, how we're coming up, growing together, things like also tribalism are being eradicated from our society. It doesn't really matter anymore what your last name is,
It doesn't.
or whether you're a man or a woman. I believe that social media has really created a platform where youth can empower each other, whether male, whether female, and actually a surgence of female peer influencers are coming up, and we want to steer ahead. That we want to continue using this platform to actually air out messages. In fact, even for organization, we actually use our young women to air out our messages, because they'll rather listen to Mwikali on a Zoom call than listen to me, you know. So it's just finding a platform for them to actually air out the messages, and with that, I feel like it's really inspiring a lot of youth members to come together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but also, I mean, yes, women need to support each other.
Yeah.
Older women need to support younger women to come up. But I also think this gender issue should not just be left to women alone. Young men should also be partners in this and support women's leadership.
Yeah.
We should also come forward and support young women. So I think that is also very, very important, because sometimes we say that's a women's issue. Women need to deal with it. But I think our generation must see ourselves as stakeholders in this. We should see ourselves as part and parcel of promoting young women's leadership. It is extremely important. So we don't leave it to them to deal with it.
You have a sister, you have an auntie, a mother, so it concerns us.
Yes, yes.
It concerns everybody. Our time is up, but I really, really want to find out. So if there's no campaign and if there's no rally somewhere, tunafanya aje na Youth VP?
I mean, such technology is actually a byproduct of that. You know, the way the world is moving, if there's something COVID taught us, is that everything is moving online.
Yeah.
And you better buy your space online before time runs out.
That is true.
You know, and we, as much as possible, want to try push our message online, because I mean, you can reach more people online than you can do physically.
Okay.
So
where can they find you? Social media handles?
Social media platforms is Youth VP on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can go to our website, youthvp.com, where you'll find our emails, our phone numbers, and you can contact us in terms of working together, any partnerships, and we plan to work with you as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Raphael.
Fantastic, and quite a pleasure. We need to keep informing the youth. If they are informed, they're definitely going to get involved. So, and youth should not see themselves as bystanders. We cannot just be on the touchline watching or castigating or reprimanding or complaining. We need to be in the arena. We must shape the future that we want.
Absolutely. Thank you, gentlemen. This has been an absolutely amazing, needed conversation. We're going to take a very short commercial break. We will be right back.